So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be doing the Hero Tournament. We have two opponents here. We only have 3 games left. Well, 3 matches. We have CelticGuardian versus BeardBroken. The winner of that will play against Epic Legion. And then the winner of that will go to our grand finals and fight off against our winner. The person who's in our winners finals right now, which is Hulb. So we're going to go to that. And right now, as I said, we have CelticGuardian versus BeardBroken. The way that this works, if you haven't seen it before, is we do a best of 3. It's double elimination. And we're doing heroes. So they pick a hero. And then they can play only the colors of that hero. And they're allowed only one of any card. Besides basic sigils. So they're allowed one of any card beside basic sigils, and the heroes themselves, they're also allowed to have 4 of. That's the other one they're allowed to have a bunch of. It's basically a commander variant for a turtle. Yeah, because we don't have the ability to actually have something out of the zone. This is the way that we did it instead, is that you get 4 copies. And BeardBroken is on Quinn, and CelticGuardian is on Cameron. We saw them yesterday. And this is a pretty good hand. I like Chunk Chunk as possible pledge early. It's kind of tough. It's slow is the problem. BeardBroken's going to lead without pledging, deciding that they'll probably draw a power card. I think that's the right way to play this out. Hope that you hit a power card and you'll probably be fine. But you've got to be a bit worried about a fast start here for sure from Celtic. Oh, sweet. That's exactly the kind of card that BeardBroken wanted to see, because now they can play Shavka, and then they can get Copper Hull Bracers, especially with Berserk. Oh, man. If Celtic doesn't have an answer to this, this is a ton of damage and a bunch of power cards for BeardBroken. And you get to just play them. Oh, God, so much ramp. This is going to be amazing. And I mean, BeardBroken knows that they're fine. They don't actually even need to use the Spellcraft. There's nothing that Celtic can do. Celtic doesn't have any units in play and doesn't have any power up. Yikes. Wow. That's really gross. They do still need another Primal. That is the one problem. They've got Linebreaker's Shield for this next turn. Ugh, Slay's coming down. Okay. BeardBroken can still be in trouble. They need a Primal. Yep. Oh, this game. This game is interesting now, because BeardBroken starts out way ahead, but now has nothing to do. And it's all in CelticGuardian's court. We've got to just see how good Celtic's follow-up is, and if BeardBroken manages to just slam a Primal next turn.
Mercy isn't really my strong suit.
Yeah, that's a good one. BeardBroken's unable to transform that, thanks to the Aegis. Oh, we've got a Howling Peak Smuggler and a Token of Honor in the market. I would expect to see like a trade of a Crown Watch Tactic or Display, something to get that token. Maybe even just Chunk Chunk, honestly. Because BeardBroken desperately needs that Primal.
A great find.
Let's see what they decide upon. It's a close one. There's a few different things. I think it's pretty reasonable to expect like Chunk Chunk or like maybe Tactic or Honor. I don't know that I'd want to give up the shield. Okay, yeah, Tactic goes away. What a hell of a start, though. Torch comes in to kill that, and 7 damage coming down on BeardBroken, plus a Steadfast Deputy. Celtic down to 3 cards. And now we've got a pretty even game on life totals. Do we see Chunk Chunk? We could Chunk Chunk and then try and Display of Honor afterwards on the Marley. That's reasonable. Yeah. I mean, now, too, you can get, and just go Lifesteal on this, try and eat the Marley that way, and gain a ton of life back, plus getting the Renown. We'll see what BeardBroken goes for here, and what CelticGuardian has in response, because CelticGuardian can easily just have removal and not play into it, right? We'll just have to see. Celtic attacking with both. Alright. This is interesting for Beard. Are you worried about removal? Like, is a Cast into Shadow can't hit it, Annihilate can't hit it. Like, there's not a lot of fast spells here that get you. Because you are on a multi-faction one. So I think you go for it and then just display it. It might have been okay to display first. Probably not. It's almost certainly better to just do it this way. Nice. That's a big swing for BeardBroken. Getting the renown, going up a ton of power here. Okay. Kill enemy unit if it's their only unit. They decide not to do that and instead go for a draw unit from their deck. So they might be going for Cameron? I don't know about that. This is interesting. This one's very interesting. I don't know what choice you would make here out of your deck. Like Valkyrie Enforcer would be okay to silence something, but like Chunk Chunk's already done what it can. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure what Celtic would go for out of their deck from there. See an attack, and I've got to imagine Sodi comes down. You want to be drawing extra cards here. Celtic plays Cameron. Can't get Cameron, no. It can't be Cameron. You're right.
Only the best for you.
Okay. That very easily could have been the choice. Display of ambition. Kill off the Sodi. Good move. Just get an attack back. I feel like a Quinn's got to come down here. And Celtic is going to try and do what Celtic's deck does, which is just kind of go wide and constantly just chump block big creatures and then try and swing back with a wider board. Don't know how well it's going to work with Vargo and Kozin and everything here waiting in the wings. Although, that manufacture is nice. But, like, BeardBroken can sit back and just kind of attack with Quinn, let it eat most of the board slowly, and leave this back, right? Stop any real counter swings. I mean, they can swing with both, too, and just play Vargo and Kozin. There's a lot of options, for sure. I feel like Celtic went for the Smuggler, yeah. Get the removal out of the market. What CelticGuardian needs right now is pristine light. Doesn't clear up Vargo, but it does get rid of most of it. Kozin plus a shield is scary. There's a lot of things that are real problematic here for CelticGuardian. Choosing to block Quinn as a chump, and then just eat the chunk for a 2/2.
Embrace the nightmare.
But yeah, Vargo plus Kozin. And with the fort, it's really obnoxious on both of these cards. Alright. Be able to kill off the Quinn that way. Play another Grenadin. This could get really close. BeardBroken doesn't have any renown right now. They'll be able to get a dragon off of the Kozin. Like, that's a thing that'll happen. Oh, that Palace is such a good hit. Palace is scary. And I feel like you just let the 3 happen. Gain a little bit of life back. If you're Celtic, you'd like to try and be able to swing back, but it's not a really good option for that. This Palace feels back-breaking. I was thinking that Dizos was going to be really good because of the scheme, but Palace is such a great hit for BeardBroken here. Dredger is nice. It's very good. Helps out Celtic in a lot of ways. But they do need... Oh, Abergraft. Okay. More removal here from BeardBroken. And they've got the ability to play both of it. mean, at this point, I would feel like if you're BeardBroken, I'd probably want to use the Withstand on the 4/5. Do it on the flyer so the Memory Dredger can't get in, and just start pressuring the hell out of them. Probably kill Wingbrewer and just put a nail in the coffin so there's not any digging going on. Yeah. Just go straight for the face. I feel like the 3/8 can't come in because of the Memory Dredger. That's fair. That's fair, actually. Just a jump ball. Smart of BeardBroken waiting before playing the Avograph, letting Celtic have time to make a mistake, not have full knowledge of what's going on BeardBroken's side before making their blocks. Because, yeah, now you kill the Wingbrewer. And, I mean, you can put the extra damage onto your flyer, but you need a removal for this dragon for it to matter. It's still definitely possible for CelticGuardian to have, like, a Slay, kill the dragon, get in with the Memory Dredger, and be able to pull something out of this, but it's gonna be tough. My cat's snoring in the background. I'm hearing him going... Oh, baby! Madness! Hello! That's a lot of life. That's a lot of life! Going for the palace, though, I think that's necessary, but it sucks. Quite a turn. And now Celtic's back on 18 life. Still under a lot of pressure, but it's a big swing. Vargo gets a trade with all 3 units. I mean, I think that you've just got to kill the Dizos here. As much as it would be nice to go for face. Probably just attack the flyer. No, attacking on the ground too. Fair enough. I mean, it makes sense at the 3/8 because there's nothing that Celtic can really have to change that. And it's all down to if Celtic has removal for the dragon. Not right now. Celtic have a pump spell. Or a couple of pump spells. Nope. Celtic bought a lot of time with that, though.
My friend.
Unfortunately, Coffin is a real problem for this Memory Dredger plan. Okay. Persuader is pretty disgusting on that. The problem is... Like, does the 8/9 just block and eat it? And if it doesn't, I imagine that a triple block does. I mean, if you're BeardBroken, you have to triple block this, right? I mean, it's possible you could get blown out the other way. Could be that CelticGuardian has a Death Strike and is able to kill the 8/9. That was just a desperate gambit from Celtic. And it feels very, very desperate indeed. Because now Celtic is dead. Nothing they can do. We're going to watch from CelticGuardian's side this time. Really good first game. Very, very good. Oh. Also let BeardBroken know. Considering Beard's previous opening, I need it. Yeah, Beard had a very good start last game, for sure. I don't think that we'll see quite the turn 3 Shavka into Copperhall Bracers slam for 12 damage and gain 2 ramp out of the deck again. It's amazing that BeardBroken had that start and Caladnus almost won anyways. Or, sorry, CelticGuardian won almost anyways. That's wild. Alright, we're gonna get a Hatcher down. Merchant is a good draw. Merchant can go for a lot of different things. Probably Regent's Tomb here. Although it's really hard to say. It totally depends on what BeardBroken's gonna put down. I still think that I just play Wind Chest. Like, Assembly Line might be a better way to trade. Okay. Celtic disagrees. I just really like getting a turn 4 Regent's Tomb and being able to sabotage here.
Never stop, never break.
Oh man, Beard has a scary start again. Cameron is great. Problem is, you don't really want to be attacking into Verret and giving it mastery. That's a tough one. Like, CelticGuardian's kind of whole plan here is to do that. Yeah, I don't like the Wing Brewer. I feel like there's better things to be doing. Celtic just trying to dig. I'm not sure exactly what they're digging for. I just feel like Regent's Tomb can also dig because of the lingering influence and, like, obviously sabotaging is really nice. I don't know. I like getting that down, putting some pressure on BeardBroken to actually come in at you. Forcing attacks out of these units. Oof. If Verret's coming in, you know that there's a pump spell. Yup.
Trust in
Oh,
No escape.
that is real bad. This is why I really wanted to get that Regent's Tomb down, because you don't want to have this happen. You don't want there to be a combat trick and Verret to transform and just become a big overwhelm guy. That's exactly what happens. There is the Pristine Light in the market here that CelticGuardian can go for. Celtic deciding to Wing Brewer. Mob Rule's pretty interesting. Using that to kill Hojin's not the worst idea.
Welcome, welcome.
Nope. Just gonna go to the market this time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with some of these. Getting rid of Devour to go for Pristine Light. Fair enough. BeardBroken still has 5 cards in hand and a much better hand in play. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so much damage. Woof. Yikes. And we're gonna get a Chump Block, and then there's gonna be a Pristine Light. It's certainly not the end of the game by any means, but it just hurts. That's just a lot of damage here. This is actually a pretty good position in many ways for Celtic, though. Able to wipe out that, and then be able to use Wing Brewer. Nice little setup here. And then do you Decimate to get that online? No, just go for the extra power. I think that's probably fair. This is very, very rough for Celtic, though. At 12 to 42, BeardBroken's got a lot of time to dig and find a lot of very powerful things. That being said, Cameron is a lot of value. Ooh, and there's a Memory Dredger. Okay. I'm liking this a lot. The thing that you've got to worry about now is if BeardBroken finds a board wipe. Because Celtic can battle back here pretty fast. Yeah, Scrapper's great too. Sure, Ice Bolt.
Avenge me, sister.
That's bad, but not that bad. Celtic has a lot of cards in hand now after Wing Brewer, Cameron. Getting the Memory Dredger is huge, obviously.
Take wing, my friend.
Oh, nice. Another Cameron right off the top immediately. So this seems... I like the idea here of going Mob Rule, killing, like, the 4/4. And then attacking in and letting Sheriff Marley silence the rest. I'd probably attack on the... You gotta attack on the ground with the 1/1 too, right? I wouldn't go in the 2/2 necessarily, but okay. It seems like the Grenadin's just an extra point of damage. You're not... You'd rather the Grenadin get blocked, and it's not doing anything
had to end like
sitting
this.
back, it feels. But fair enough. It's not a big difference when your opponent's on 36 life. And BeardBroken does nothing. That would terrify me. And it looks like it scares Celtic. Celtic not attacking with Sheriff Marley here.
We must save our homeland.
The second Cameron is so good. Sacrificing the 2/2, keeping the lifesteal. Just thinking it's very important to have a little bit of extra life here. And then get Steadfast Deputy. Ooh, Cruel's Choice. Getting an Avergraft, 99.999% certain. Yeah. Hitting Cameron. Stopping this value train from going any further. It's a good one. That being said, like, Celtic Guardian has other ways to get value. Sheriff Marley churning out 1/1s with a Stonescar Scrapper is real nasty. Not attacking with that Grenadin. This Grenadin just doesn't want to get in.
Peace is its own reward.
21-19. This game has turned around very fast. BeardBroken just on a lot of power, maybe?
I'll forge my own path.
Top decking Quinn is very good, though.
Another round of chain.
That'll help stabilize a lot. I'd really want to get this Memory Dredger down.
These parts could be worth something.
But that, I mean, either one of these is fine. I very much agree with that in a lot of ways, too. Oh, Scattershot's a big game. We've seen it do work before in these matches. When you're making this many tokens, it's very nice. And it just depends what BeardBroken got off of the Quinn draw and their top deck. Because obviously they haven't had a lot in their hand for the last couple turns. 7/7 coming in. I mean,
my sense.
yeah. I'd say either chump block or just not even bother. Just take it. Now that Celtic's at 22, they've got that option again. They were very, very low earlier, but gaining all the life back off these vampire bats has been huge. Hitting Sheriff Marley. So what else do they have? There's the Pristine Light. Okay. Killing the Chunk, killing the Marley, killing, importantly though, Stonescar Scrapper. It's gonna be close, because that Quinn comes back. Memory Dredger is amazing with Scattershot. Immediately draws a unit, gets to play it, hits again. Hits twice with Grenadin Drone.
Peace is its own reward.
Yeah, like, look at how much value that Iceberg Scattershot got. Out of nowhere, that was 4 damage just this turn alone. And another unit off of the Memory Dredger. So sick. Such a great little combo. And it's very good with Kriva, too, right? It's good with Kriva, it's good with Colony Matron. There's just a lot of things that it'll be awesome with here. Like Firemain Lioness. It's something that is kind of a linchpin of Celtic Guardian's entire deck, honestly. It's really felt like that. And we've talked before about how it seems like these games are decided by who has the most flyers. Celtic's got a few flyers right now. BeardBroken's got Quinn. BeardBroken's got Chunk. So they can stun the Memory Dredger. That's a for sure thing. Big question is, what do they do from there? Because they're still facing down a big board. They're going to go for the Shield Bash on Memory Dredger. Might just work better for their power. They might be just trying to dig. Yeah, attack 4/5 is good. Try and hope for a block with the Scattershot. Because, boy, you don't want that to happen. Ooh, and BeardBroken going to the market. Alright. Big question is, how much damage can Celtic Guardian do here? Because Celtic Guardian can put down a lot of damage with that scatter shot.
Make each bullet count.
Celtic starting with the Stone Powder Alchemist. I could definitely see going like... Okay, going Calling Matron. I was like, I wonder if you just go like Kriva and
We
Ghostblade.
fight to survive.
Apparently you don't. Still puts Beard down to 7. Beard can't really get like a board wipe off of Howling Peak. Ryzen does a lot. Getting rid of Iceberg is a huge deal here, obviously. They will be able to trade back for Ryzen. Ryzen has to attack, so they're able to just throw a bunch of little units in front of it. Ooh, hitting Sporefolk. Ugh. Getting Cameron, and just a bunch of power, so not too bad, but... Not exactly the 1/1 unit you want. And even if you're Celtic...
Bullseye!
Yeah, I guess there's not actually a great trade yet. But you've got to try and get rid of that Ryzen fast, because Ryzen does give you a problem of a lot of life on BeardBroken side, which is a lot of time. This game, oh my god. There's so many big value swings where it looks like somebody's on the ropes, and then slowly, steadily... Yeah, Sodi Wingbearer hitting the Memory Dredger. Not the Matron, but that's fair. Getting Cameron's a really good meal because drawing it would have been miserable. Yeah, but hitting Immortalize is really good for BeardBroken here. Because Immortalize could have gotten back the scatter shot, and that'd have been a big deal.
I only play to win.
Getting a legendary Woda, and that could get anything. Let's see what Celtic gets. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the cards.
And what
See if they can silence. That'll hit Quinn for sure. We know that there's a Quinn. Problem is, Ryzen still gets in here. I'd attack with both and just take the guys in... even all 3 of them. I'd attack with all the flyers here for sure. No, okay. I don't think you want a chump block here. You want to get another... yo, I guess you have to. Ugh. You can't actually make Vampire Bats anymore because the board's full. I would have liked to have seen some attacks on the ground then. Throw away some units. Just throw away the 1/1, throw away Ghostblade, like, get some other units in here. Because you need to be able to get enough Vampire Bats to block this Ryzen and stop it from gaining life. That's killing you. I think the Celtic really needs to stop doing this and needs to start getting it on the ground, getting rid of these extra units they have, and actually get rid of Ryzen. Yeah, and now they've got the answer to the Colony Matron.
I'll forge my own path.
Ryzen is just such a threat here. You have to deal with it. Display of Ambition will, so that's the thing you can do. I think you have to do that. And Kriva is not looking particularly good. Alright, fair enough. I mean, nor was the Fire Maiden, so that's very fair. I mean, the other thing, too, is Display of Ambition can just get cards out of your board.
Frost in the light!
Celtic Guardian saying, nah, I'm just going to kill that Ryzen and try and get in flyers. Which is fair. It might have been better. I wonder if it's just better, though, to go for, like, Iceberg Scattershot again and Colony Matron. Play Scattershot again and then try and go for the blocks. Like, throw away again, but just throw away a bunch of these units. Force BeardBroken to start blocking them. Because you've got enough life that the swing back doesn't matter. You can leave back some blocks. And then let Colony Matron Scattershot take over the game. Or like Memory Dredger Scattershot. Like, do something like that. That might have been a better move. Yeah, we definitely need to see more of these units on the ground going in. Because, like, they don't even have room for Seraph to be doing anything. I feel like that's been a pretty big mistake on Celtic Guardian's part here. Is just not being willing to throw away units to try and make board space. It's something they really have needed for a few turns. And if they had it, it would have made a big difference. I mean, sure, you're losing some stuff, but you're gaining a lot of advantage out of it.
I only played a win.
Like, what's this Grenadin doing for you? It's just been sitting here forever. There's been some really solid hits out of Celtic from this Seraph. Hitting Woda, hitting the Rhyme Conclave. Like, they didn't want to hit this Spore Folk, but man, they've hit everything afterwards. Now, what do you do here? Go for the Sabotage? Okay. I was thinking you might actually go for the Revenge on something like Seraph, make sure that it doesn't die. Hit Vanquish. Okay. And BeardBroken scoops. Seen enough of the game, decided that's unwinnable. Smuggler was a spectacular hit. Absolutely amazing. Alright, and we're going to watch from BeardBroken's side one more time. As we get the rubber match. Ooh. It looks so close to being good. We saw the Copper Hall Bracers start before, but with no justice, this is not going to be keepable. Make sure they both know. Hopefully they do. This I like. You can pledge away Vargo. You probably don't even need to, though. Yeah, I feel like this is pretty easy to just, like, start with a crest. You'll be able to scout. You get another power. You only need to draw one power card here. This will even get you the double fire that you need for Caleb's Persuader. Celtic Guardian waiting for us nicely. Make sure that they know. They're still being slow. Yeah, I think that I'd take the risk here and just crest. I don't think I'd pledge. But it's very fair not to take this risk. It's a pretty big risk. It's a low, like, there's not a lot of chance that you miss on power for this many turns. And that you don't draw anything that you can play. But if you do miss, it's really bad. Yeah, so pledging is... I understand the need to do that there. I can see being afraid of that happening. Alright, and I imagine we see a turn 2 Bullet Shaper.
Another round in the chamber.
Because we can actually get a Caleb's Persuader down real fast. Yeah, pledging game 3 versus pledging game 1. That's a good point. I mean, at this point you've got to be a little risk averse. Yeah, BeardBroken deciding not to go for the really spiky play of just like Caleb's Persuader immediately. Oof, that's nasty though. They could Ice Bolt their own unit to get another power card here. I don't see that as being particularly useful. Like, they don't have a 5. It just makes sense to wait here for a moment. Play the Minotaur Platemaker. Just wait a little bit.
Let's hammer this out.
Platemaker plus Persuader is a pretty big deal. And then, of course, being able to get Palace on it later is going to be insane. And you have to go for Persuader Crest, right? Just slam. Celtic Guardian has a lot of chump blockers. They can spend some time making it so his Playmakers and not doing anything. Oh, wow. Beard just decides to be a little bit safer. Go for a wider board. Take things a little bit slower. It's a really bad move if Celtic Guardian does have a Slay. So this is just a very safe play. I think that's pretty fair. I like just going for a very big spike, but it is more than fair to do that, for sure. I wouldn't be worried about the Seraph here. Like, you could Ice Bolt it immediately, but I don't think that really matters. I feel like Palace might be the thing to do. You don't really want to withstand onto Varret, though. Alright, BeardBroken doesn't care. Gonna give Varret a gun and just go to town. Celtic is very power screwed right now, yes. Now, do you go for Overwhelm or do you go for Aegis? I feel like I would have almost wanted to go for Overwhelm there because you know that Celtic's just going to go wide forever. And they have to have more removal for Platemaker and stuff anyways. Platemaker and Quinn and the Palace are going to make a lot of other threats. Ooh, this Valkyrie Enforcer feels gross. But it's you do have to give up on like a Palace to do it. I would probably just be willing to slam Palace and then just get in with both. Give Withstand to the Minotaur and start going to town. You can let Celtic have a 1-1 out of Seraph. Seraph's not that big when it twists once. It's a bigger problem once it gets like an equipment on it, when it can become a little bit bigger, or if it's twisting once it's like a 3-2, that kind of thing. But when it's a 0-5 twisting the first time, I don't think it's a big deal. Alright, BeardBroken is just going to attack once. Just with that. Celtic is going to need something really big. But we've seen something really big out of Celtic quite a few times in the past, so fair enough. Yeah, and Beard just like not going for any big spiky plays, not wanting to end the game too fast, just going to try and like go as slowly and carefully as possible. I kind of like that in some ways, but I almost just want to end this game fast before Celtic gets out of the screw. That's my only fear here, is that, like, we've seen how swingy these games are. And I would just want to try and bury Celtic fast. Alright, now we're going to see Palace. And I imagine Ice Bolt the Seraph. Nope.
Experience.
I mean, I don't know that it matters. This is a lot of damage. There's no way that they can realistically block that well. We'll hold up Ice Bolt for a little while longer. Ice Bolted at the end of turn if they have to. It's looking very bad for Celtic. Scrap Tank would normally be pretty good because it gives a lot of blockers and can get large and actually do some blocking. But BeardBroken holding on to that Ice Bolt, getting it right away is very bad for poor Celtic here. Casualties of the cause, able to remove a little bit more in blocking.
I'll forge my own.
Yeah, Pristine Light's not doing anything, but it's good insurance. And all this Aegis now is just so much for Celtic to deal with. They can chump block for a long time, but they're not getting ahead. And I don't know how they get ahead with this Aegis. That's going to be really difficult. And even if they do, like, this Pristine Light is really backbreaking to have as insurance against it. Dredger is very nice.
Save our homeland.
I don't think that it's nice enough. Here comes Berserk. And that is a lot of damage.
Remove the impurities.
With bracers, with display of honor. I don't think there's actually a way for Celtic to live here. They have to block. Yeah, there's no way to win, actually. There's no actual block that lets them live. Because they have to block these both times, which is all 4 of their units, and then that'll kill. What a great match. Tough final game for Celtic, getting a little bit stuck in the early portions of the game, but a very valiant fight, and what a fight it was through those 3 games. That was incredible. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really well played by both players. Very close games. And congratulations to BeardBroken for moving on. And of course, sorry for Celtic for not. But that's the way it goes sometimes. And a very good win by Beard, going 2-1 over CelticGuardian. That was probably the closest set of games that we've had. Those were really, really good games.